Welcome to the Medical Report Received webinar. In this webinar, you will learn how to enter medical report received status, learn about the correspondence description hyperlink and how it displays the received status, how to remove a medical report received status if entered an error, and how to enter an unsolicited medical report, the UMR. Let's get started. The medical report request and the medical report received and the history screen has been removed from the legacy. It is now available on the web. As stated in another webinar on how to use the quick link and the search, on the home screen you have the pending medical report request quick link that you can click on to find all your medical report request letters that are still in pending. In this example, let's just say I received a medical report request for one of my clients, which is client 1, tester. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the correspondence description hyperlink. Actually, before I click on it, I want to show you that I have a total of 7 results. And here, my correspondence description is the regular description with no status. So let's go ahead and enter a medical report request status by clicking on this correspondence description. The system is going to take me into the View Correspondence page. Scroll all the way down. And here you have the medical report received section, this section right here. The medical report received section consists of the medical report received status, which is a drop-down. The options are patient not seen, report not received, report received. If patient not seen is selected, or if report not received is selected, the report received date is disabled. If you select report received, as you see here, the report received date is enabled and is required to enter. So let me go ahead and do an example. Let's do a couple examples. Here I'm going to enter patient not seen. We also added a medical report received case note section. Anything that you entered here is going to go onto the case note. Once you are done, you're going to click on Save. And the system is going to display record updated successfully. Let's go back to home page. Remember when we first started, we had 7 letters in pending medical report requests. Because we completed 1 and entered a status as patient not seen, the tickler disappeared. We now have 6. Let's go enter another one. I also received a medical report request from Children's Hospital of Orange for client 2. Let me go ahead and select the correspondence description. And let's go all the way down. This time for the status, I'm going to say the report was not seen. The the report was not received. Make some kind of comment into the case note comment section. This is optional. You don't have to if you don't want to. And click Save. Once again, let's go back to home page. Or, in matter of fact, let's not go back to home page. Let's go ahead and click on Main Web Correspondence Screen. Let's go ahead and click on Pending Medical Report Request. It functions exactly the same as the home page, Pending Medical Report Request link. Click on that. I have now 5 letters pending for medical report request. I also received a medical report request from this provider. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in my received status. Scroll down to the medical report received section. This time, I'm going to select report received. As you see here, the report received date is now enabled. And I'm going to use the calendar. I received it today. Put in my dates. Add my case notes. And click Save. Record updated successfully. I'm going to go ahead and click on Main Web Correspondence Screen again. Click on Pending Medical Report Request. Now I have a total of 4. Go to Home page. I also have a total of 4. And your case notes can be found here when you enter your medical report case notes. I just did one for strawberry yogurt. This is the correspondence case note I did earlier today, but the ones that I entered in for the received status is here. We entered 3. So 1 for the patient not seen, 1 for no medical report received, and also 1 that I actually received from the provider back. Go ahead and select it and print it just to view and print. I'm going to go ahead and expand it. This is the case note for strawberry yogurt. It displays the addressee name, the letter description, the letter type, correspondence, and here's the provider information, the status that I entered, and the date I received, and of course my free text case note entry right here. Going on to the next client. Same thing, but this one, as you remember, we had selected patient not seen. So that's the medical report status. The next client, we selected that the medical report was not received, and my free text case note. This was the provider and the letter information. Go ahead and minimize that, close it. Now I want to show you that when you search for a medical report request, if it has a status on the hyperlink, it means the medical report has already been received, child was not seen, or there's no report received. So since I have my client selected here, I'm going to go ahead and go back to correspondence module. I forgot to reset from my previous setting, so just ignore that. Let me just go ahead and reset that. Now I want to show you how it looks like when a medical report status is entered and when you search and how you know the difference. I have some client examples here, so let me go ahead and enter them in. I like to enter by auto-selecting using the Enter key. I'm going to go ahead and search. I'm going to do today's date range. You don't have to do the date range if you don't want to. So here, you're going to see some that are not received and some that are received. When a medical report status is entered, you will find the description after the letter number. So here, the report was, this is the example, the one we did for the report was not received. So it says right here, report not received. If you remember, we also did an example of patient not seen. So here it says patient not seen. This one right here has nothing. So that means it's still waiting for a medical report to come back, or nothing is entered yet. So it's still pending. This one's also still pending. And if you recall, we did enter one and said that we received the report, and we received it today. So this one has the status report received. And these other two, nothing has been received or no status entered. So let's say I want to go enter another one for, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and select this one right here. Go into the letter. Once again, the medical receipt section is displayed down at the bottom, so you're going to have to scroll down to the bottom to the medical receipt section. Use the drop-down to select a status. Patient not seen, patient not received, and report not received, or report received. Let's go ahead and enter another report received. We're going to go ahead and select report received. It's going to enable the report received date. You can either free text the date in, or you may use the calendar. The previous example, I used the calendar, so in this one, I'm just going to go ahead and type it in. Case note is optional. You may enter in a case note if you wish, and then click Save. Records updated successfully. Now let's go ahead and go back to the main web correspondence screen. I'm going to go ahead and do search again, search letters. And now here's the report received status. Now, if you remember in Legacy, once you enter in a report received status, or any kind of status, there was no ability to undo. With the new upgrade, we now allow you to undo your mistake. So let's say I enter a medical report received status on this record by mistake. I didn't really receive one from this provider. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the search correspondence description. The correspondence description hyperlink. I'm going to scroll down to the medical report received section. Here's my information that I had previously entered. To undo it, you simply have to go back to the medical report received status. Click on the drop-down, put it back to select, and you'll notice that once I do that, the medical report received date disappears and it's disabled. Now I'm going to go ahead and save it. And it says record updated successfully. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the main web correspondence to show you the difference. So previously, it had the status that it was received. Now when I search for it again, if you notice, the status is gone. I also made a mistake on all of these. So let's go practice. Go remove the status on all of them. Click on it. I'm going to scroll down. I'm also going to put this back one to select. I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back to the main web correspondence. I'm going to search for it again. status is gone. Let's go remove the status on this one also. Let's scroll down, and remove the status, put it back to select, and we'll save. Go back here to the main web, research for it. There you go. Status is gone. Let's go ahead and clean this one up too then. Let's put this back to select to remove the status. Click Save. And voila, records updated successfully. Click on the main web correspondence. Let's go ahead and search for it again. Search letters. And now none of my medical report has been received, not seen, or not received. Let's go ahead and go and click on home page. If you notice, my tickler is back. If you made a mistake and you put a status received, and you remove the status, if the tickler is still current, meaning it's still pending, it'll be found here again. Or you may go and watch the webinar on how to search for medical report requests. And you can do so by using the correspondence search, using a category, or the advanced search option. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. We also removed the ability to enter an unsolicited medical report from the CMSNet legacy. To enter a UMR, you need to go to correspondence. You may do that here by clicking on the shortcut hyperlink from the home page or from the program module, clicking on correspondence. My previous example already has my client selected, but let's go ahead and enter in a UMR for organic, strawberry yogurt organic. Go ahead and create my letter, clicking on the Create Letter button. For the category, the UMR is found under Miscellaneous. So I'm going to go click on Miscellaneous. For my correspondence type, since UMR starts with a U, I can either type in U for a shortcut, or use my mouse to click on UMR. So now I have my UMR selected. For the UMR, you have to, the medical report receipt date is a required field. You may use the calendar to select, or you may free text in. I'm going to go ahead and select today. Medical report number is optional. If you have it, you may enter it in. Who did I receive a medical report request from? I'm going to go ahead and add that by clicking on the Edit Addressee button. Let's go ahead and I received this from the medical home. So I'm going to go ahead and check medical home, check my provider, and click Continue. This is the free text. It goes on to the template. Oops, if I can spell correctly. This section right here is the case note comment section. Whatever that I enter here does not go on to case notes. I'm sorry. Whatever I enter here does not go into the template. It goes into the case notes. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Save and Print. Now the UMR was added to the correspondence section, not for the purpose of mailing it out or anything like that. It's just a place where you can go and enter the status that you had received a report from a particular provider. So even though it's auto-displays right here as a letter, but it's not to be mailed out. It's just a template. So I'm going to go ahead and close it down. If I were to research for it, it shows up as in the correspondence description as a UMR unsolicited medical report. Okay? Over in the case notes section, the subject description says received medical report from and the provider's name. And that is how you complete our UMR receive status.